you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this ministerial statement by myself is in relation to a highly publicized video depicting the presidents of the Republic of Zimbabwe and the Russian Federation in a meeting wherein certain remarks were attributed to His Excellency the President of Zimbabwe, President Emerson Mnangagwa. Madam Speaker, I would like to thank you for this opportunity accorded to me to make a ministerial statement on this very sensitive matter. Madam Speaker, as I've already alluded to, a video was recently published on various global platforms which depicted His Excellency President Emerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, in a discussion with His Excellency Vladimir Putin, President of the Russian Federation, on the sidelines of Russia's economic forum. In the course of the video, certain remarks were made by President Mnangagwa in the following terms, and I quote, "You see, the West has just begun consolidating its power in Zambia, our next-door neighbor. There was a time when Zambia and Zimbabwe were one. It was called Northern and Southern Rhodesia. It was made one by the British, but they are now separate." He goes on to state, "And the Americans are consolidating their power in that country, both in terms of security and financial support to Zambia, to make sure that we feel lonely." End of quote, Madam Speaker. His Excellency President Mnangagwa went on in the same video to call up for enhanced Russian military support and deeper Russian involvement in Zimbabwe. Madam Speaker, having verified the veracity of the video through diplomatic channels, government is gravely concerned with its contents, which we consider an unwarranted attack on Zambia's sovereignty. Madam Speaker, the peoples of Zambia and Zimbabwe have always enjoyed warm relations from pre-colonial times, such that Zambia provided assistance, including military support, to the Zimbabwean liberation movement and allowed our brothers and sisters in the struggle to operate from Zambia. It is a known fact, Madam Speaker, that Zambia provided a safe haven for those feeling persecuted during that difficult time in our history, and that our founding father, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, played a key role in international diplomacy efforts that led to the eventual independence of Zimbabwe in 1980. On our part, as Zambia, therefore, we have never looked back or regretted having played that crucial unifying role. Nothing has changed since then. Madam Speaker, Zambia is a peace-loving nation whose desire is to pursue friendly relations with all nations, including the republics of Zimbabwe, the Russian Federation, and indeed the United States of America, among others. For example, not too long ago, in March this year, Zambia was one of the first countries that called upon the United States of America and the European Union to remove sanctions against Zimbabwe when the United States imposed new sanctions. Further still, in the same month of March 2024, the 18th session of the Zambia-Zimbabwe Joint Permanent Commission of Cooperation, JPCC, was held with the aim of further strengthening the bond between our two nations. The following month, in April, Zambia was host to the African Land Forces Summit 2024, where nearly 40 African countries, including the Republic of Zimbabwe, participated in a candid dialogue about shared challenges under the theme Regional Solutions to Transnational Problems. Similarly, in May 2024, we had the fourth session of the Zambia-Zimbabwe Joint Trade and Customs Commission to strengthen trade cooperation between the two countries. Madam Speaker, the foregoing underscores the warm and friendly relations that Zambia has always extended to her beloved sister nation. It is against this backdrop that I wish to state in no uncertain terms that this demonstrates our commitment to the pursuit of neighborly and peaceful relations between the two nations. Regrettably, however, Madam Speaker, the sentiments expressed by His Excellency President Mnangagwa do not appear to accord with the warm relations highlighted above, hence our concern as government and hence our quest to have this matter decisively and conclusively addressed. Madam Speaker, as regards the relations between Zambia and Russia, you may be pleased to note that Zambia and Russia have maintained diplomatic relations for over half a century, and that the Soviet Union was among the first nations to recognize Zambia's independence in 1964. In this regard, Zambia has in place several agreements and memoranda of understanding with the Russian Federation, which underpin our relations, including many others that are soon to be concluded. In short, Madam Speaker, we wish to reiterate that as a sovereign state, we have no interest in moving away from our long-standing warm relations with either Zimbabwe, Russia, or indeed with our Western partners, nor do we have any desire to pitch one against the other. We are alive to the fact that we, as members of the wider global community, and that in both the regional and continental context, there is need to find a lasting solution to the matters in issue through an appropriate mediation process which should result in measurable outcomes. It is in this context that we have sought the regional body's urgent and immediate intervention in relation to the present and any other matters in seeming contention between Zimbabwe and ourselves. Madam Speaker, Zambia remains open to fostering and deepening relations with like-minded, brotherly, and sisterly nations, even in the face of misunderstandings that may arise from time to time. Ours is to enhance economic diplomacy, peace, security, and stability in the region and beyond for the mutual benefit of our collective citizens. However, that notwithstanding, Zambia remains a sovereign state whose sovereignty must be respected and will be protected. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you.